Hello, hello. Hello. Is everybody here? Is somebody here? All right. Did that just go out in the chat? It says one person is watching. Okay. Well, I'm just going to assume that people are here. People are going to show up. We should be getting started here soon. I'll just give just a couple more minutes for people to show up, and I should probably share this link on Mailchimp. Let me do that too. Let me do Mailchimp. So how's spring for everybody, or fall, depending where you live? It's been a very cool and wet spring here, so the flowers are wonderful, but it is a little on the cool side. So I'm sending. Let me send this email. Just a second to send this. So how have the 3-card readings been going, people? All right, almost done with the email. Almost done. All right. One more thing. Here's the link. All right. Now getting to the part about sending it. Ding, ding. Send. Okay. I sent it. All right. So let me get back to my Hangouts. Okay. All right. Let me see. Did anybody say anything in the chat? No, no one has said anything. Hello, anyone out there? Okay, well, welcome to another free online tarot class. I hope the technology is getting better. I tell you, this streaming thing is really, it's so complicated. I do video conferencing. I work from home. I'm on the web all day long. And so I thought, oh, streaming, it's just like video conferencing. It's not just like video conferencing. It's way more complicated. I don't understand why. So I don't know. We're doing a Google Hangouts here. I should be able to screen share. We should be good. So yeah. So here we go. Let me share my screen. I will share my screen. Okay. So here we are, the free online tarot class. All right. I cannot advance this like this. Hang on just a second. Hang on. Where? There we go. Okay. So, yes, this is the free online tarot class. So, here are the important links to sign up. There is a Facebook group associated with this class, which is facebook.com/groups free online tarot class. If you search free online tarot class, you should find it. And in the description of this video, there is a link to the email sign up so that you can get notices when the classes are, you get handouts, you get homework, you get all kinds of other goodies if you sign up for the list. All right. Of course, just this Hangouts button is right where I have to advance my thing. All right, so who am I? I am a self-taught tarot reader. I've been reading since my 20s. I do one-on-one readings, but I also do a lot of parties. I'm also an astrologer and a divination geek in general. Okay, so the objectives of this class are to make an intuitive connection with the cards. And as I've said before, there's all kinds of stuff that's packed into tarot cards, all kinds of esoteric information, all kinds of history, all kinds of layers of things. But in order for you to learn to read quickly and get up and running and actually doing readings and not spending years studying tarot, the best way for you to do that is to make an intuitive connection to the cards, and then just learn to work with like information that's actually on the card itself. So between those two things, it's like you can get up and running and reading tarot in a very short amount of time, and then you can explore all the other layers and facets and stuff that you want to explore, but at least you're able to actually like have a working understanding of the cards. You're able to do readings and just move from there. So that's why these class objectives are as they are. Like I said, you would separate the deck into its components and learn how to work with each from the perspective of the component, and the components are the suits, the numbers, the major arcana, or the trumps. Okay. Um, Also in this class, we want to become familiar with basic spreads and how to create spreads, and practice reading holistically, being able to paint a picture of the overall message of the reading by connecting all the parts into a coherent message. So that's usually where people have the biggest problem is, okay, it's like I have this card, I have that card, we have that card, and I do not know how to put all these together and have it mean something. So that's what we're working on in this class as well. Okay, so I've as we've moved along, I keep backing up and slowing down this class because I'm just realizing that, and I thought I made it basic and kind of simple. When you actually get in front of people and do it, then you find out if you hit the target or not. So I think I'm going to slow this down. Last week we talked about the suits and about the 3-card spread. And I didn't get any questions. There really wasn't any activity on the Facebook page. So that means I lost you guys somewhere. So I want to back up, kind of go over what we went over last week, and then work more on the 3-card spreads. So that's what the next slide is. So that's this is what I want to do. I want to review the suits, set up and read 3-card spreads. So I've got a few kind of canned examples of 3-card reading. If you have questions, you're certainly welcome to put them in the chat, and we can go over them together. Because I like to use real questions, because it's like I can theoretically talk to you all day. It's like until you actually do a spread and get some feedback, then that's how you really learn. And that's what I want you guys to know now, to be able to like post in the Facebook group, like, hey, I asked this question, this is the answer I got, and this is what I think it means, or I'm wondering, I need help with this or that. And that's how we're all going to move forward and learn. So let me get out of this for a minute and go back and see if I can see the chat and see if anybody else has showed up, and if there are any questions, or if anybody has said anything. So stop sharing. Okay, there's me. I'm back. Let me look. Okay, so Stacy Caldwell. Hello, Stacy. You said is the list free or no? The list is free. The list is free. So it's in the description box. I can also put it in the chat. Let me do that right now. I'll copy it from the slideshow. One moment. There you go. There's the link, Stacy. Oh, Molotov cocktail. Hello, Molotov. So where is everybody from? Are you from the United States or somewhere else? I'm just curious. It may take a minute for people to answer. How about while you're answering, I will go back to the slideshow. So let me figure it out again. Okay, now I'm back. Now I can go back to the slideshow. Right. Okay. All right. I think I'm not going to do like the full presentation view because I have to keep moving screens every time I do that. So I'm just going to keep it like this, where you see all my slides on the left. So just forgive seeing all my slides on the left. Okay. So last week we talked about the four elements, which are earth, air, fire, and water, which are in the tarot suits as wands, cups, swords. So, and if you're used to earth, air, fire, water in astrology or alchemy or anything, they're exactly the same in the tarot. So that's something that's nice because it's not like it's the same, but it's kind of different. No, it's just really it's exactly the same. And we have a very good understanding of this, and it's like we experience the elements every day. They're actually part of our language. Like we say somebody has a fiery personality. We say go with the flow. We say somebody's salt of the earth or they're sharp tongued, so these are all the elements here with fiery personality. That's fire. There's a water expression because it's just like, hey, we're just going to be cool and calm and have a good time and go with the flow. Salt of the earth is a pentacles expression saying this person is, they're hardworking, good people. They got their feet on the ground, they're level headed, all that kind of stuff. That's all very earthy. And then sharp tongued means, that they're very skilled with words and they can cut people down with their words. So I just kind of want to go through this quickly, and all of these slides of the elements are on a page on my website, and that's part of the homework that gets sent out. So if you join the list, then you'll get the link to the homework, which is a page on my website, which has all these slides. So, talking about the element of fire, which is wands in the tarot. If you think about fire, it's warm, it spreads quickly, it can go out quickly, it can catch other things on fire, it can be kind of fascinating, it could be scary. So all of these elements have a spectrum of expression from good to bad, what we would consider quote unquote good, what we consider quote unquote bad. So fire is passionate, it's inspirational, it's a connecting energy, and it's a male connecting energy. So male just means outward moving, and then connecting means bringing together. So Wands things is lots of activity, fast moving. It's spiritual seeking because the fire reaches upwards, towards the spiritual or the spiritual realm. It's about growth, as you can see from the wand element there. It's got leaves on it. It's growing. And like I said, the negative aspect of it is it can move too fast and cause burnout. It can move too fast and things like that can be what happens when there's too much fire or the fire is not. So the next element we're going to talk about here is water. So water is a female element, and it's also a connecting, or it brings us together. So it's the female receptive connecting element. So it's about receptivity. It's about reflecting things back to people. It's about emotions. It's about psychic energy because that's what psychic energy is connecting with things that are outside of your own body or whatever. You're getting messages from somewhere else psychically, so you're connecting into something else and getting information. Cups are enjoyable, they're good times, fun with friends, all that kind of stuff. And then, on the flip side, when there's too much water, you could feel overwhelmed. You could feel like you're drowning, like you've got too much. There's so much emotional information, and you don't know what to do with it. So that's how you become overwhelmed. The cups. For the swords, that is a male suit once again, and so in tarot, the swords they're pretty much your problem suit. That's where, like, if you look at like if you lay out all the sword cards, a lot of times that kind of scares people because that's the suit that has all the problems. And the cups is the suit that kind of has all the happy stuff. Because it's got to be that way, not that it doesn't mean, like I talked about, that there's a spectrum across each of the suits, but it's just that's the way it is. So that's usually, if there's a lot of swords in a reading, there's usually a lot of problems, and a lot of these problems can stem from hard decisions. So that's what the swords is about. It's the air element. So it's mental, it's analytical, it's thinking. It's, like I said, it's making decisions. It's about things being black and white, or being able to put things in categories. So that makes it that kind of a separating energy. So it's a male outward energy, and it's like we're gonna separate the good from the bad, and we're gonna sort this all out. That's like a very sword thing. It's about your perspective, and it's about being objective. So, like with the cups, you can might be overly emotional and subjective. With the air suit, you you are more objective, and you could be overly objective, which would make you kind of cold and cruel. So that's kind of like the negative side of the um, the air suit or the sword suit is that you're so objective and you're so detached that you're not connecting, and you're, like I said, you're separating your, and you perceived as being very cold and not sympathetic, not connected to your emotions, stuck in your head, all that kind of stuff. And then lastly, we have the Earth, and I forgot to put the tarot card there, but anyway, the Earth is the suit is the Pentacles. And so the Earth suit has to do with the five senses, everything we can see, hear, taste, touch, feel. It's the world we live in. It's the mundane, the day to day. It's the work we do to make the money, to buy the food that we live, or it's like working the earth so we can grow the food and then eat it. Um, so that's why it's connected to prosperity in abundance or lack. And like I said, with the earth suit, there is work involved. And this is a separating female energy. So it's female energy that is separating, because it's kind of like on the earth plane or on the earth space, it's like I could be here and you could be over there across the ocean, right? We're separated by our distance across the earth. So that is the suit. So on the good end of the pentacles, it's like we have resources, we're getting what we need, we're working, but we're not killing ourselves. You know what I mean, and we're building things. And then on the downside, it can be like uh, you just feel depressed. You feel like you can't move. You feel like weighted down. It's like things just you can't get them to come together, and it's very depressing. And it's just kind of like this little mole. He's struggling. He's not really struggling to get out of the ground, but you could imagine him kind of struggling to get out of the ground. It's like, there's just too much earth here. That's too much solid matter, and I can't get through it all. So that is the pentacle suit. All right. So now I want to get on to. Let me just. I guess I'll stop for a minute and I'll see if there's any questions or commented. So I will go back. Now let me get back to the chat. Okay. Back to the chat. Okay. All right. So Molotov cocktail is from Turkey. Oh no! Someone says my audio has an echo. I'm trying to think what I can do about that. Usually it's be feeding back, but I don't have my I don't have the sound on, so I'm not sure. Is anybody else hearing it an echo, or is it just? Well, you were here last time, and I don't know how to pronounce your name. It begins with a T. It's Tirit, Tirit, or I don't know how to pronounce your name. I don't even know if you're a man or a woman. Maybe you're a woman. Maybe you're Miss T. I don't know. Hi, Miss T. Does anybody else have an echo, or is it just Miss T? Oh, Angela hears it. Okay, dang. It's always something. Oh, I'm not sure what to do about that. I really am not sure. Oh. Miss T says close enough. Candace, hi Candace. Okay, good. All right, we got people here. Yay, Candace made it. Okay, somehow you guys found the link. All right, so let me get back to the presentation, and I'll come back. Candace, I just wanted to go over what we went over last week. And then we're gonna do the 3 card spread again. I know I said it was supposed to be about court cards, but I felt like I lost people and then I didn't explain it good enough. So we're doing it again. That's what we're doing. So okay. All right. Yes, Angela. That's so annoying. That's so annoying. Okay. Well, I'm not really sure what to do about that. But anyway, all right, let me carry on here with the presentation. So back to the presentation. I'm gonna look quick here. I don't know. I don't know. It's all I don't really have too much. I don't have too many options here. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna leave that alone. Okay. And I hopefully I did not mute myself. I don't think I did. Okay, so back to the presentation. Okay, so let's talk about the three card spread. And what I did last week is I said let's just use the suits in a three card spread. Like not even worry about the numbers, not and there's no major arcana. Like if major arcana cards came up, I just threw them out and went and kept pulling till I got a numbered card or a court card. But as long as it had a suit on it, so that's where we're going to keep it. It's just as simple as possible, and you can actually do readings with just suits, just looking at the suits. So that's what we're going to do right now. So let's pretend somebody has a question and they say, "All right, uh, now should I take the job?" That's usually what people say. And so that's a case where I might want to rephrase that a little bit. So it's like, are they saying, what are the benefits of taking the job? What happens if I take this job? Am I suited for this job? And will I enjoy the job? Will I make the money I want to make? So I try to get a little bit more than should I take the job? So, and this is my little speech about the should questions. And I've talked about this before, but I'll keep bringing it up. I really should questions. I don't like them because it's a judgment, and it's like, so who's to say? It's like that's what you really want to know. Is this job going to be good? Whether I think you should take the job. I don't know. Does your mom think you should take the job? Does God think you just should take the job? I don't know. So that I just kind of go off when I hear shit questions. I have to rephrase them. And usually, like I said, the question is something like, what are the benefits of taking this job? So let's just go with that question. What are the benefits of taking this job? And pretend we pulled some cards, and here they are. And I used the Gaian tarot on this. Am I screen sharing? I don't think I'm screen sharing. Hold on. Let me screen share. Sorry. I forgot what I was doing. Okay. Yes. So um, just pretend we pulled three cards. So this is what we pull, and this is the Gaian tarot. And what I like about the Gaian is uh, the suits here already are earth, air, fire, and water. So it's like we don't even have to do the translation and all that. That just happens to be the way they are on this in this deck. So we pull the Guardian of Earth, we pull the Ten of Earth, we pull the Four of Fire. So we're not even going to pay attention. We're just going to say we pulled Earth, Earth, okay, and so what we have here is uh, two earth and one fire. So let's talk about this a little bit. So we've got earth suit and fire suit. So we need to start thinking about earth and fire, how they go together. You know, as far as speed, I didn't talk about speed with the suits, but earth is the slowest suit. And this is all relatively speaking, but earth is the slowest suit. Fire is the fastest, and then water somewhere in between. And that's just kind of a relative feel, just so you know. So some questions you might want to kind of be asking yourself as you're looking at this earth, fire is, okay, so do you think this job will be long term or short for the person? So I'm gonna come back to I'm gonna look at the chat. I'm not gonna stop screen sharing. But so somebody, no. That is so weird. You know what? I have a different microphone. Let me try unplugging another microphone in. I have different ones. So just hang on. All right, I'm coming back with my microphone. Yay. This is my. No, I have one more USB port. Yeah, I think this is my last USB port that's available. Yeah. All right. Now let me switch it. I gotta get back. I gotta get back to the Hangouts. Okay. All right. So now I'm gonna switch. No, not that way. Okay. Now. Okay. It says it's on there. One I just switched to. Okay. So is it any better? Is the sound any better? Is the sound any better? Everyone, can you hear me? Okay. Candace says yes. Is it better? Is it better? Is it better? Do I sound better? Am I cutting out? Okay, better. Okay, thank God. All right. Okay. Okay, so back to what we were discussing here. So, what does everybody think? Do you think this job is going to be long term or short term? Okay, still an echo, but not as loud. Okay. I have no idea why. Because, like I said, usually that's because it's feeding back, but I'm muted, so I don't know why it would be feeding back. Okay, so looking at this, what does everyone think? Do you think this job will be long term or short term? I mean, and this is just relative. This is just relatively speaking, and just kind of looking at it. Okay, so Candace says long. Angela says long. Okay, so I'm assuming it's because of the Earth cards, right? And I would agree. I would agree with you. Okay, so our next question is, how do you think do you think this person's making the money they want to make at this job if they take it? How's the money? Nobody's answering. I would say for the same reason because of the Earth cards. Um, yeah, somebody said yes. Yes, Candace said yes. Yeah, I would say because of the Earth cards, um, the money's there. The money is good. The money is good. Okay. So what's the overall feeling? Like just looking at these cards, Angela says decent because of 10 of Earth, Guardian of Earth. Yes. So that's the yeah, and you're right. I was trying not to even just bring in like the Guardian and the 10, but but yes. So now we're kind of getting off into another part of this where it's like we're going to use just the pictures on the cards, and it's like pretend this was uh, part of a comic book, and we look at the pictures, so what's the overall feeling you get here? Like what's the storyline? So like what I'm seeing is like this the first card we have a guy that's like working in the garden. He looks pretty happy, so that's good. It's like, yeah, this person will get in this job. It's like they like tending to it. They like since it's earth stuff, they like tending to their income. They like the work itself because the earth is the work. And then on the next card, it's like they kind of get further into the forest, and then I think when you know we have a kind of an abrupt change of suit here at the end. We have the fire card here. So we're going from like, here I am, I'm working, I'm doing stuff, I'm happy, I'm content, this is cool. And then it's like suddenly we have fire, so uh the fire kind of involves like a get up and go. It's like you have to respond quickly to something. It could be something like that. And just judging from the actual pictures on the card, it looks like you have to like set a boundary, or because you see how this lady has that all the candles and stuff. It's like she made a circle around herself. It's like you kind of have to set a boundary, or protect yourself, or defend yourself, or something like that is what it looks like. So it looks like it's probably, I would say, it's like, okay, this looks like this is going to be good for a while. Then something's going to change for sure. And then whether this person or not likes it or not, you kind of have to ask them a little bit, because some people like to just go in and do their job and be left alone. But like I said, this fire thing, there's going to be, it's like it's a change, and it's going to be a quick change, and it's going to be something that they have to respond to. So some people don't like to be jostled like that. Some people are okay with it. So, but we do know that it's going to change. So that's from just looking at the suits, we know it's like it goes earth, earth, fire. So it's like work, work, and then change. Oh, okay. All right. So that's that. So let's go on. And then I pulled another hypothetical set of cards for what are the drawbacks. So it's like, okay, should I take this job? Okay, well, what are the benefits of taking this job? We just looked at that. Okay, so what are the and in this case we have fire, fire, water. So we kind of have the same pattern here, where we've got one suit, and then it changes. So does anybody have any thoughts on like fire, fire, water? Like what could that be? And this is like drawbacks. So like what are the downsides of fire? Or what's a way that we might interpret that? Or if you don't want to use the elements, you can use the pictures. It doesn't matter. Um, Candace said I would say no. I'm not sure what you're responding to. Okay, Angela said fire could be fast moving. Okay, that was my thoughts. Yeah, like the money is good, and it's like the work is good, but maybe something about the workplace is very fast paced, or maybe this is like a new department, or maybe it's a new company, because like with that fire, you get that really young. Yes, Candace, you get that young feeling. It's like, oh, this is new and this is moving fast, and you know what I mean. So it's like, yeah, we're gonna pay you good, but you gotta hustle. You gotta hustle your, yes, Candace, too. Yes, so very much so. But then we have a suit change, and we go from fire to water. So yes, unable to keep up, that too, definitely. Then we have the suit change, and it goes from fire to water, and so then we cool things down, the water, right? And so then maybe somehow this person like figures out this with the job, or you know what I mean, or something, and maybe it has to do with like in the other set of cards we had, where it's like you kind of like you have this idea of kind of taking a stand with what this picture, maybe that somehow it reaches some kind of resolution, and it's like, okay, we kind of understand, and we understand each other now, we communicate better, you know what I mean, so now we can not be stepping on each other's toes now. So Angela says maybe get out of the comfort zone of the earth. That could definitely be, yes, unless so then you get more of a connection with people. So that's, I mean, that's just an idea, like how you could work something like that. So, and I think that's pretty cool, because, like I said, my goal is to get you guys up and reading quickly. I don't want you to spend years studying something and not being able to do a reading. Angela says she likes the idea of learning not to step on each other's toes. Yeah. And we're just speculating because this is like a fake reading and all, you know what I mean, and all that kind of stuff. So we're just speculating. But I'm saying that's one way you could look at it. And when you have someone in front of you, it's a different thing. Like you get feedback from them, and then things make more sense, and just move on from there. Okay, so I have another canned scenario here. We have this one is, will this relationship last? So that's a lot of times people that they starting a relationship and you're like, they're like, is this the one? Is it going to last? So there's a couple different ways we can look at it. We can look at it for the 3 card spread. We do a 3 card spread of the timeline, which is kind of what we did on this other one. It's like we went from left to right, and there's a progression. And then we can also do person A, person B, and the relationship, which is, I do that like all the time for relationship readings. And I might add, there's going to be more than 3 cards, but I separate it out that way where it's like person A, person B, and the relationship itself. But anyway, let's get started with the timeline here. So, uh, so for this, will the relationship last? Will this be long lasting, or will it stick around for a while? We have air, earth, air. Once again, we ended up, and I just pulled these cards randomly. I didn't like set them up for any particular reason, but once again, we have 2 elements. This time, instead of 2 elements together on one end, they're separated by an element in the middle. So we have air, earth, air. Does anybody have any thoughts on that, on air, earth, air? So I would say, just to start off with, air is, remember, that's one of those kind of separating energies. It's kind of cool. It's kind of detached, and so it makes me feel like, okay, like somehow this relationship, or the person or whatever, it's like they looked good on paper, like they checked all the boxes. It's like, it's like you have a list, like, I want somebody that's got a good job and that has a good relationship with their mom and that doesn't have any kids from a past relationship, and they have to like dogs, or whatever your list is. So it's kind of like with that air is, it's like okay, this is like they kind of checked off the boxes in the list. Okay, so Miss T, and I really hope you're a woman, Miss T, said, air is carbon dioxide filtered through the earth, released as oxygen. Okay, let me think about that for a second. Air as carbon dioxide filtered through the earth and released as oxygen. So I guess you're saying the air is being transformed by the earth. That's the way I would read that, and that's definitely a possibility. Angela says, not much passion. Yeah, and I would agree. Okay, Misty, you're a woman. Yay! Okay, good, good. Then I don't have to feel bad about like calling you the wrong address or whatever it's called. Okay. So anyway, yes. Okay. So yeah. So we have this idea, and then we have the Earth in the middle. And so like Earth is about work and could be hard work. So it's like, okay, so like we get this person and they're like, okay, you're like, hey, this could work because they're meeting my criteria. They meet my criteria. And then we get in there and it's like, we got to get our hands dirty, which is like literally what's happening in the picture. The person is like kind of getting their hands dirty and digging around in the dirt. And we got to do some work. And so then we go back, then we have air suit again. So kind of taking Miss T's idea of it changing, the air can be like a change in perspective. So it's like, okay, now we see this relationship differently. Um, or it's like, okay, we go, it's kind of like that, once again, that disconnected idea. It's like, okay, it's like we're just kind of take it as it is at the beginning. We do a bunch of work and then we just kind of like disconnect again and go, okay, let's reassess. Let's reassess this because we just did all this work and I don't know if it was worth it. Um, Angela says, but if they're both really into the same pursuits, both are practical, they could work. That is true. That is true. And we can see more of that in the next one when we do like person A, person B, and the relationship. That you can, that's easier to see it if you set it up that way. This, where I was just doing like a timeline, um, you know. And so, as far as like how long this relationship might last, relatively speaking, I think it would be kind of moderate length of time, which to me is like just a few months, like 3 or 4 months or something, just because air is in there and it's kind of the middle one as far as length of time, and then earth is longer. But it's like we went back to air, so it's like it's a little bit long enough to know, long enough to find out. It's not a big long epic period of time is what I would say. Okay, so now let's move on and let's look at it as, like I said, person A, person B. So I don't know if you can see my little cursor thing here, but this nine of air here, like this is person A, and then nine of earth here is person B, and then the relationship is here in the middle. So interestingly, and like I said, even though we're not paying attention to numbers, but you just can't help but notice they're both nines. So like Angela was saying something about like, you know what I mean? If the people are kind of similar, well, obviously there's something similar about them because they're both nines. One person is the nine of air, one person is the nine of earth. So if we look at if we look at that, it's like they're masculine and feminine elements. So opposites attract. So I personally would see that as good. You might not, as you develop your however you work with things, maybe in your experience you'll find out that that's actually not. But I mean, to me, that seems like that would work because you got a masculine quality and a feminine quality, and then there's something similar that it's the nine. Oh, happily ever after says, "Hey, I thought it said happily ever after." Yay! So that's kind of funny because it's like right appropriate to what we're talking about. So yes, welcome, happily ever after. Okay. Yes. So, does anybody else have any other input about like person A and person B? Which person A is the nine of air on the left, person B is the nine of earth on the right. And by the way, this someone asked if is this relationship going to last? That was the question. And then notice we have fire in the middle. So that means I would say there's a strong attraction there. Okay, so Miss T is saying they're both mature. Are you getting that from the nine? I'm just curious. Yeah, so we have oh happily after said person A is more concerned about the relationship or worry. Okay. That you can definitely get that from the just looking at the pictures. Yeah, like person A, they're a little freaked out right now. You would have to just say, looking at the picture. Person B does not have a care in the world. Person B is like standing in a field, smiling, having a good old time. Happily ever after says both of them are one step away from what they want. Nice. Candace says she feels more sad about the nine of air. Yes. Well, yes. I mean, just from the pictures, and then just once again, the air suit, the sword suit is like once again that's kind of our problem suit. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a problem, but it's just something troubling on person A here. know that much about it, but we can definitely say that. And like I said, person B doesn't have a care in the world. They're just like la 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 la, la. And like I said, between them we have the fire. So like there's definitely um, attraction and excitement. So like this is a relationship that wakes them up. Okay, happily ever after says they're one step away because they have one step until the 10. Angela says, I don't feel good about the relationship. 9 air could wear out 9 earth. That could definitely happen. So that's where I was kind of getting to with the middle card being fire. It's like there's definitely an attraction, there's definitely passion. But when we were talking about fire, what do we say about fire? Fire can burn out quickly, unless there's something else. Happily ever after says there's passion between them, yes, and a desire to take action, which is mutual. Yes, definitely, definitely. So yeah. So these are all very, very good comments, and I think we're kind of all kind of coming. You can see how you can get to the same thing several different ways. So that kind of plays into the thing is it's like there's really no right definition. There's no correct definition. There's a lot of different ways you can get to the same conclusion. So I would say, I mean, and this is just like if I was looking at a relationship, I would do more than 3 cards. But I would say just based on this, like I don't think this relationship is going to last too long unless something changes. Like, yeah, they like each other. It's great. They're attracted to each other, but there's something that is it's not going to be long term. It's not going to work out that way. So that's just what I would say about this um, reading. So, does anybody have a question that they want to address? And we can pull cards, and then we can do it just like we did it here, where everybody can put their input in. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. That was the Jeopardy song, by the way, when they gave people time to think. um, so Candace says, so could you just look at the middle card? For like, do you think that this relationship's gonna last? Um, the joining card and be like it's going to be a fast relationship. Candace, yes, I would say yes, and then you get more information by looking at the two people. But yeah, you could just look at the middle card and go, okay, what do I get from this middle card? Okay, Miss T says, would it be better for me to formally resign from my job, um, or continue as it is working only on occasion? So, all right. So I think this is one, Miss T, where we're gonna have to break it up. Or what? Well, we could do it. We can do it like. Well, let's break it up. Let's break it up. So we'll pull 3 cards for what it what the outcome is if you formally resign, and then three excuse me, 3 cards for if you work only on occasion. So let me shuffle here. Yes, Charlotte, you can ask a question. And I think Angela has one. And then we'll do Angela. We're doing Miss T now. Then we'll do Angela, and then we're doing Charlotte. Okay, I'm shuffling for Miss T. So like What is the outcome if you formally resign the job? Okay, so that's so like to completely get rid of the job, let it go. Bye bye job. Take this job and shove it, as they say. All right, so I'm going to come back. I'm going to get the camera on. Let me come back. Okay, so stop screen sharing. All right, I'm back. Okay. I'm going to move this that way I can see the chat. Okay. But then I'm looking weird because I just moved it to my other screen. Okay. I'll just try not to look over there. So that's what I'll try to do. Okay. But then I'm going to have to when I pull the cards up. Maybe I can make it smaller. I don't know if that works. Okay. That kind of works. Okay. Oh, no, it went big. Stop it. Okay. Let me see if I can make this work. All right. Okay. So for Miss T, the outcome, if you resign, okay, so I got a major arcana, so I got to skip that. So we've got 3 of water, and we have 7 of air, and we have 8 of air. So we have water, air, air. So what does everybody think about that? So these are, I guess for you, you're going from right to left, which is kind of backwards. Maybe I should switch it the other way. I don't know. I'll just leave it alone. I'll leave it alone. Water, air, air. Okay. So I would say it looks like initially you would be really happy about that and be having a good time. And then the air part comes up. Air, air. So it looks like, and I'm just reading from what the card looks like, it looks like you would be really happy. Then you'd be doing some planning. And then you'd be doing some this almost looks like you go back and get another job. That's what kind of does it look that way to anybody else, or is that just me? Nobody's saying anything. Okay, so let me pull 3 cards for if you hang on to the job and just work sometimes, work on occasion. So all right, so we've got, that's a major arcana. Yeah, skip it. Okay, so we've got the Explorer of Water. Okay, Angela says, last card looks like she's working with other people, not alone. Okay. Yeah, it kind of looks, I don't know, it kind of looks like a return to work. I don't know. Oh, you're considering starting your own business. Okay. All right. So let's look at if you just to this job and just work on call on occasion, whatever. Okay, so we've got Explorer of Water. I pulled another major arcana. We've got the 4 of Wands, or of Fire, and 10 of Air. So we've got 3 different suits here. So we've got water, fire, air. So it looks like if you continue to work for them and you work occasionally, it looks like here with this water card, it's like you're gonna have to go with the flow, and it's gonna take some, like this surfer guy, he has skill to do this. So it's like it's gonna take skill for you to like kind of do your thing and do their thing, and you know what I mean, and you're riding the wave, and sometimes you're getting wiped out, and or it could be mean that like you're gonna have to put a lot of emotional energy into it. also. That's something to consider. So Candace Cross says, um, happiness rides the tides, like in and out. I think I missed part of what you said, but maybe everyone else can see it. And then we have in the middle we have fire. And so that this lady's kind of getting her gumption up is what's happening, and then it's like, and then you just quit anyway. That's what it looks like to me. It's like, okay, it's like you're it's taken a lot out of you emotionally to do both, to start your own business and work for this other company. But eventually, it's like you get your gumption up, you know what I mean, and then you fly south to your own thing, and you cut ties anyway. So it's all kind of like, I would say, how comfortable you feel. Like if you feel really comfortable and confident, just go ahead and go now. You could let it go, but you're going to end up letting it go one way or the other. It's just about whether you want to do it now or whether you want to do it later. That that's kind of how I'm seeing it. That's how I'm seeing it, and I hope this is helping people. Is this helping people? I hope this is helping people. Candace says that makes more sense than what I said. Well, your stuff was broken up, Candace, so I was trying to put it together. I was like, okay, hopefully somebody else was able to put that together. So okay, so all right, so who was next? Was it Angela or Candace? Who was it? Okay, Angela says, "Will Jupiter retrograde benefit me?" All right, so let me see. How about we'll just change that to, what are the benefits of Jupiter retrograde for you? So, in case anybody is not aware, Jupiter just went retrograde. I guess it was Wednesday, maybe, and it'll be retrograde all summer till like August 10th, something like that. So, and Jupiter retrograde is not like Mercury retrograde. It's not like the worst thing in the world, but it's not Jupiter direct, put it that way. So, what are the benefits for, who am I reading for? Is it Candace, or I forget who? Angela on Jupiter retrograde. Angela, benefits for retrograde. And this is just another little tip. When I'm reading for somebody, I always repeat the question back, like I was doing just then. I was like, shuffle. Usually they're shuffling the cards, and then when I lay out the cards, I repeat it back, because it just solidifies it. It's like, not only do we make sure that we understood each other, but it just solidifies what you're asking. Okay, benefits of Jupiter retrograde for Angela. Okay, so we got the sun. We have 5 of air. We have 10 of fire. We have 2 of, so we have air, fire, air. So we've got all masculine energy here. So, um, so even though Jupiter is retrograde, it seems like it might be more of a time of active uh, activity on your part, like actual, like doing stuff and pushing forward. Okay, air, fire, air. Okay. So it's it seems like, okay, so with this air card here, it's like we things are already changing. I feel like they're already changing, they're already moving, and you can just see from this, it's like it could even be a little bit of conflict. And then I think we reach a blow up point, like a fusion point, or was like the something finally ignites. Okay, so it's like what I mean. It's like we have the friction here of trying to start the fire, where you're rubbing the sticks together, and then we have, it's like the fire actually starts, and then we have we have like a new perspective, and we have like another pause or an assessment. That's kind of what it's looking like to me. So it looks like at least like if we did this timeline wise, it's like the beginning part of the retrograde. Like there's a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot of things shuffling and moving. And then by the end of it, you're like, okay, so now I'm at a point where it's like I can reset and start again, or I can evaluate like what happened here and decide where I'm going next. Like that's kind of what I'm getting from that. So let me see. See if anybody had any comments. That's what I'm looking for. Scrolling. Angela says, "What is the last card? It is the? Am I pulling the right card? I am. It's the two of air. I don't know if you can see it because I'm looking at the chat, so I'm delayed. Can't see, but actually see myself. Let me switch it so I can see myself. Okay. Yes, two of air. Oh yeah, I lost me. I had it that way. Oh, well, that's when I scrolled. Okay. All right. So any more comments on this Jupiter retrograde? Anybody? So it looks like, I mean, like I said, it looks like you're gonna definitely be working on stuff. Miss T says she does seem pensive. Yes. So that's what I feel like. It's like it's front loaded. A lot of stuff happens in the beginning, and then it's like you get to the end, and you're like, "Wow, what was all that?" Let me stop and think about that for a minute. Angela says she'll probably be worn out. It looks like it. It looks like it. It looks like it's going to be a busy time for you with a lot going on. Okay. All right. So let's move on here. Okay. So, oh, Angela says she's still ruminating over the 10 of air. Yes, concerned about Jupiter retrograde. Well, it's 10 of fire, not 10 of air. Okay. All right. I think we got that done. Okay. So now we're going to Angela, then Charlotte C says, "What is the likely outcome between me and my long distance crush?" Okay. All right. So we get to do the person A and person B, and well, we can do a timeline. But let's do both. Let's do both. Okay. So this is for Charlotte, and what is the likely outcome between me and my long distance crush? Okay, Charlotte and her long distance crush. So that's major arcana. Okay, so this is Charlotte, 10 of water. And then this is the relationship. And this is the long distance crush. Okay, all right. So we had some of these cards come up before, interestingly. Okay, so we have Charlotte is the water, the crush is the air, and there's earth between them. So any thoughts, anybody? So water and air and earth. So water is a female element, air is a male element. So that I like that. That's good. And so with Charlotte as the water element here, so Charlotte is you know, connected and all that kind of stuff and enjoying. And this person is not as emotionally connected, more analytical, and then with between them we have an Earth card. So Earth is a long lasting card. So that means that this relationship could go somewhere. Is what I would say. This relationship could go somewhere, even though I feel like you're probably really different people. This relationship could be long lasting because of the Earth card in the middle. Let me scroll down and see if anybody said anything else. Ah, Miss T said a positive outcome. Agreed. Okay. Thank you, Miss T. Angela says they seem to balance one another. Yes, I think so. So that's nice. So congratulations, Charlotte. They come from very different backgrounds. Okay, well that makes sense. Because like I said, I felt like you guys are very different people. So cool. Lots of wealth on his side. There you go. All right, so you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so let's do. I think we'll do one more and then we'll wrap it up. So, okay, so where were we? We did Charlotte. Um, do okay. I think next per line is Heat Journey. So if Heat Journey, if you want to type your question real quick, if you're still here. Or somebody type a question. Whatever question comes up first is the one we'll do, and then we'll wrap it up. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Okay, Candace says, "What's the outcome for me and Jason?" All right, Candace and Jason. Charlotte, the card in the middle was an Earth card. It was the Nine of Earth. And Charlotte, just I don't know if you were here for the whole thing, but we were just trying to read just with suits. I mean, we'll look at the numbers; they're there, but it's like we're not putting too much emphasis on it. Okay, so Candace, outcome, you and Jason. Candace and Jason, the outcome. All right, Candace and Jason. All right, so here's Candace. I have to get my camera part back. Okay, here we go. Candace, water, three of water. The relationship, Ace of Earth. And Jason is five of water. Okay. So here we've got a same suit here. You guys are both water and you got earth between you here. So I would say with you guys both being water, it's like you're both very feeling people. You're both emotional people. You're both people. The cups are people that like people that like relationships, people that like connection, people that like enjoyment. So, and it's hard for me like not to bring in numbers, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Well, we can look at the cards. It looks like Candace here, like you're real happy go lucky, at least about this relationship. You're like real happy go lucky, and Jason is, it looks like he's thinking about something. There's something that's kind of like has his attention. Uh, that's you know what I mean. He's like really to like pay attention to something that needs to be resolved because it's kind of taking up some of his emotional bandwidth here. But in between you, you guys do have an Earth card. So this looks good. The aces, we don't really talk about the numbers, but I mean, you can just tell. It's like here we have a new little fawn. The new ferns are growing. So it's like there's a new little sprout of happiness and hope for this relationship here. So I think what is it you asked, what is the outcome so the outcome is like this is a little sprout and it needs to be tended. It needs to be cared for. And it's like it's kind of like you got to kind of tread carefully because it's so new. It's just so new. You know what I mean? It's like it'd be really easy to just come walking through this forest here and stomp all over those ferns and mess them up and scare that little baby fawn away and everything else. So I would say this like you could have a very deep, emotionally fulfilling relationship that lasts for a while. But like I said, it's just, you gotta be real careful here at the beginning that it doesn't get messed up. Miss T says for the middle card, the word nurture comes to mind. Yes, exactly. This relationship needs it needs you gotta just feed it and water it and clear the weeds away and all that kind of stuff. So there you go. So all right. So for new people, welcome new people. Glad to see new people here. In the description, there's a link where you can sign up for the email list so you can get the homework and the handouts and all that and get notifications of when these classes happen, which is basically like every other Sunday I've been doing it. And what I said at the beginning is like I'm changing the schedule. I was trying to get this done by like the middle of May or something, but it's going to take longer because I need to slow down so that everybody has time to get everything get digested and everything. So I don't want to go too fast because that doesn't help anybody. So I'll be here for quite some time, for several months, out every other Sunday, having classes. So it was great to see everybody. Um, Join the list, and I'll give you the link to the Facebook page and all that kind of stuff. Or if you search free online tarot classes on Facebook, you and like I said, join the email list because that way you get everything. You won't miss anything. So I will see you next time. Everyone have a great rest of your day. Bye.